Well, welcome to this week's news from Lanzarote, and I'm going to start by apologising for the ambient noise you might hear. We seem to have a bunch of very excited school kids heading down the road to my right. Somebody's working with a buzzsaw or an angle grinder or something to my left. And we seem to have most of the trucks on the island going past the road at the bottom of our garden. So it's Christmas, and hey, you know, we'll cope with it, and it's probably quite nice to hear the kids chattering excitedly in the lead up to Christmas. So we've got loads of news to cover for you today. I'm going to be telling you about the weather. We had a big storm last week. We're talking about taxis. We're talking about free lottery tickets for the people who live in Tinajo. Olaf Schultz is here on the island for his Christmas holiday, and we've got loads more stuff to talk about. And stay tuned until the end as usual, because I'll tell you about 3 things you can do over the next 7 days if you're on the island, and obviously it's Christmas week, so it's very exciting. So let's kick off now, and I'll just talk over the noise of the kids. And the first piece of news that came in is one that I was really happy to hear. And it's that the Cabildo has decided that we will have an island-wide taxi service for the period 22nd of December until the 7th of January. Now, those of you who follow this news all the time will know that one of my big frustrations about the way the taxi service works here on the island is that it's municipality based, which means that each taxi owner can only pick up fares within their own municipality. So we have the ridiculous situation here where a taxi, for example, can take customers from Playa Blanca to the airport and drop them off, but he can't pick up people waiting in the queue at the airport. He has to drive, I say he, it could be a she of course, he or she has to drive back to Playa Blanca with their taxi empty before they can pick up a new fare. It makes absolutely no sense at all, and I've long advocated, and I'm talking years now, that we have an island-wide taxi service. Well, the good news is the Cabildo has decreed that we will have one for the Christmas period specifically, 22nd of December until the 7th of January. And it means that not only can you pick up a Playa Blanca taxi that you happen to see driving through Costa de Gizeh, but it also means there'll be a central control room which will monitor where the demand is and send taxis over in that direction from all around the island. I'm hoping it's an outrageous success, and I suspect it will be, and that will persuade the Cabildo and the taxi companies that it's something we should do going forward. Now, I said we talk about the weather. Storm Dorothea, or I guess in English you would say Dorothea, hit the island last weekend. And it was in some ways worse than we were expecting because the winds were super strong. Here on Lanzarote we had winds gusting up to 90 to 95 kilometers an hour. In La Graciosa they had winds gusting over 100 kilometers an hour. And in fact it was La Graciosa that was worst hit. There were a few buildings damaged there. Some of the fittings and fixtures in the harbour area were damaged, and there are some dramatic pictures, and I'll post one along to this in edit, of sand dunes that had been pushed up against houses, almost burying the front doors of the houses on the island. Obviously La Graciosa is covered in sand, so when the wind blows really strongly it just gets absolutely everywhere. So there's a big cleanup operation going on there. Following the worst day of the winds, we also had a big electrical storm in the middle of the night, which is pretty unusual for here. And then we woke up to a kalima, a really heavy kalima, and that's when Saharan dust is blown over and just sort of sits over the island, making the air sort of unclean and leaving a layer of dust over cars and patios and house roofs and all that kind of stuff. The kalima cleared midweek, and we're back to kind of more normal winter weather here, which is typically blue skies, reasonably warm during the day but cool at night. We do have a forecast for a bit more rain, I should say, over the weekend, but the forecast for Christmas Day, for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day onwards looks absolutely perfect. So fingers crossed. We normally have a beautiful Christmas here, and we're expecting currently blue skies and around 25, 26 degrees during the day. Next up, the mayor of Tinajo, who is a chap called Jesus Machin, has done what he's done for the last couple of years, actually. He's bought 2 El Gordo lottery series, which he is donating basically to the people of his municipality. Now, an El Gordo series is €200, so he spent €400 on these 2 series. And they can win substantial amounts of money. I'm talking millions here. El Gordo is the world's biggest lottery. And what he's done is buy 2 series, and he's effectively put them in the name of all the inhabitants of Tinajo, 5,986 people. And what he's promised is that any prizes that are won by these 2 series of tickets will be distributed evenly among all the residents of the town. So I think that's a lovely gesture, and I really like it. The lottery, by the way, takes place on the 22nd. We have our decimo, which is a tenth of a ticket, so €20. Keep your fingers crossed for us. I could be a millionaire next week. Now, the German Chancellor, who's in some strife at the moment, Olaf Scholz, arrives on the island on Saturday this week. He'll be here for his Christmas holiday, and it will be the 3rd year running he's enjoyed Christmas in Lanzarote. Times are quite difficult for him at the moment. He's just recently lost a vote of confidence, and he'll be going for another election in Germany, I believe, in February. But at least he'll have a chance to sort of relax and calm down over Christmas here on the island. And talking of Christmas, the Christmas flower, in case you didn't know it, of Spain is the poinsettia. Those beautiful red leaves that you get on poinsettia plants at this time of year. And Arrecife has installed 12,500 poinsettias all over the capital. So pretty much wherever you drive on the capital, you'll see flower beds and roundabouts covered in these beautiful red flowers, and it's really, really festive. If you're here on the island, do pay a visit to Arrecife, because it's just beautiful to see and befitting for the capital of the island. Now, you might recall I mentioned a few weeks ago that work had stopped on the big new hotel that is being built in Costa on the plot of land front line, sort of next door to Sands Beach Resort. And there was some sort of contractual dispute that had to go to court. The court have now ruled that work can start. So work will get, I believe actually has already got underway on that after a 1-month delay. The hotel is going to have, 6 swimming pools, a spa. It's going to employ 350 staff, and it's expected to open in 2026 at a cost of €100 million. Now, this is the point at which I ask you, please, if you haven't already done so, to subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, please give us a like. We really appreciate all the help we can get as we try to grow this channel. It's grown substantially through 2024, and we're going to continue with it in 2025 to see if we can make it a really effective and useful information point for those of you who have an interest in the island. So any help you can give us in terms of likes, shares, comments and everything else is greatly appreciated. And I do read every single comment that gets posted below, and I will always do my very best to answer your questions. Now, the final piece of news for you this week is that Navan, and I mentioned this in last week's news video, Navan, which is a kind of Christmas spectacular, has opened in Arrecife. It opened earlier this week, and around 6,000 people attended the first day. And it is by far the biggest sort of Christmas event this island has ever seen. There is a massive Ferris wheel there, there's an ice skating rink, there's a toboggan run, and there are all kinds of shows and events going on. There are also stalls selling Christmassy type stuff, and hot dogs and mulled wine and things like that. So it's a great Christmas atmosphere, and that's at the Recinto Ferial, which is the kind of big plot of land at the Cabildo end of Arrecife and facing onto the ocean. Now, before I go on to tell you about the 3 things that you could or should be doing if you're on the island next week, I just wanted to take a moment to wish you Feliz Navidad from both Julie and I. We're wishing you the most wonderful Christmas, festive fun, family, friends, and all the other good things that go on at this time of year. From this afternoon, we'll be taking some time off over the next few days, and we've got family over, and we're looking forward to enjoying that with our friends and family. So from us to you, Feliz Navidad. Now then, what should you be doing next week? Well, the first thing I would do is to come up to the ARA Christmas Market. Yes, I did say that, the Christmas Market, on Sunday the 22nd. And we've never had a Christmas market in ARA before, so I'm looking forward to seeing it myself. It takes place in the plaza, and there are craft stalls, there's a craft market, there are different events and singing and things like that going on. There's actually a stage been set up in the plaza, not specifically for this event, but for all the events taking place in the village over Christmas. Now that runs until, I think it's 10 o'clock at night, let me check. No, 8 o'clock, so it runs from midday until 8 o'clock. Now my advice, if you don't mind being out and about in the dark, is to arrange to come up here around 7 o'clock in the evening when the sun's gone down, or maybe a little bit earlier, 6 o'clock, to give yourself a chance to park. Let the sun go down, because the Christmas lights in ARA this year are absolutely beautiful, and you'll then be able to enjoy both the market but also the Christmas lights and the Belen, the nativity display, which is in the aljibe right in front of the Ayuntamiento, and that has some interesting lighting on it as well. So that's this Sunday the 22nd, ARA Market, anytime you like, from 12 until 8 in the evening. And then of course you can go for a meal at one of the excellent restaurants here in the village. Now the next thing I would do is on Monday the 23rd of December is to go and enjoy a concert at the Camel House in La Somada. The Camel House is a beautiful building that was restored by the musician and industrialist Sir Peter Hall on the island, specifically as a venue for high quality classical music. Now I'm not a huge fan of classical music, but this is a Christmas concert, so I guess, you know, we will all know the types of songs that they're going to be playing there. It's a beautiful venue, stunning views, the acoustics are fantastic, and the quality of the musicians they have there are just the top level. So I would do that on Monday the 23rd, enjoy the Christmas concert at the Camel House here on the island. And finally, and I've saved the best till last, is an event which is called ASA Prendidos. It's not that easy to say, but it's basically a flamenco event taking place at the Cueva de los Verdes. So, I mean, not only is it flamenco, which I absolutely love because of the passion and the fire and the clapping and the foot stamping and all that kind of stuff. They managed to, even if you can't understand a word that's being sung, you know exactly what's going on by the way the dancers are reacting, by the way the music's being played, and so on. But also the venue is absolutely epic. The Cueva de los Verdes is just the most amazing place to see any kind of event. We've been previously to a flamenco event there, and I almost couldn't speak afterwards because I was so into the moment. And I think I'm just picking out some of the stuff that they're talking about. They're going to have light, shadows and art, the essential pillars of flamenco, which obviously is guitar, singing and dance. They're going to take you through different types of flamenco. It sounds like an absolutely amazing evening. And I'm just going to check the price for you. I think it was on here. Yeah, tickets range in price from 15 to 30 euros. That's on the 27th of December, starts at 8 o'clock. And if you go to the CACT website, CACT Lanzarote, you'll be able to buy your tickets and go along and enjoy that. And if you've never been to a flamenco event before, even if you're not into music and dance, I highly recommend it. Well, that's it for this week, and I hope you've enjoyed the news. I hope you enjoyed the 3 things I recommended you should be doing. Once again, apologies for all the ambient noise around me, but hey, this is life, and I don't get to choose when I record this, and I don't get to stop the traffic and the kids and everything else around us. We'll be back the same time next week, Saturday morning, with your weekly news, so please subscribe, please look out for our videos, and I hope you enjoy them. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate every single view we get, and wishing you once again a wonderful Christmas, and bye for now.